way since the garage.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
Say that again?
Okay, so I just finished watching the Fantastic Four movie, 2015, right? Because I'm addicted to Marvel now. And I sat there and I was expecting this movie to be bad, like really bad, right? Because they never got a sequel. So I'm watching it, and like first hour, it is honestly peak. Like I feel like they were doing the Fantastic Four justice throughout the entire movie. Now we get to, after this hour part, we get to the Victor part, and honestly, that's my main criticism. Besides the fight scene itself, I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, it was so boring. It was so boring." Like, bro, you kind of signed up for Fantastic Four. I don't know what you. It's kind of boring. You expected the movie to not be mostly about scientific research and discovering new planets and going to different fucking, like, what did you expect out of a Fantastic Four film? But what this shines in is its character. They actually wrote the fucking character. They actually gave the characters purpose. I was talking to Don in a VC, and we were talking, and literally the thing, Ben, he's been with Reed, even though he never understood Reed throughout the 5th grade. We get to see that. And then moving up, they get their powers, and Reed leaves. Reed leaves at the thought of this just being confused, scared, whatever, right? And that hurts Ben, because Ben feels like, bro, this is the first time where this nigga didn't understand something about me and he just dipped. It's a complete, it makes sense why he would be mad at him next time he shows up. And he is, but he does forgive him. He's Reed, they're still friends. You could feel the chemistry between the characters. Now Sue, I feel like they could have cast somebody else, real talk. But she was cool too. Her character beats, I mean, yeah, her character beats kind of generic, but hey, what can you do, right? It's just the first movie, and that's what I felt like this was. This was the first movie of a trilogy of sorts. This felt like the beginning, like the setup for something peak fiction later down the line. I love Johnny Storm. I love Michael B. Jordan in this movie. And I can't stress enough that the first hour of this fucking film was godlike. It was fucking deep. I was sitting here like, bro, ain't no fucking way people are calling this movie bad. But then Doctor Doom, right? I love Doctor Doom. And by the way, I'm going everywhere, but this time lapse, because this movie uses time lapses, I can appreciate it so much more. And I feel like this is such an underutilized tactic in movies. Like, please, time lapses explain such a wide array of feelings, emotions. It explains things without really needing to say them in such a short amount of time. It paints a narrative. Me looking at the progression of Doctor Doom, and Johnny and Reed and Sue all hanging out eating dinner while they're still working on the project, that shows me that they have this deep level of connection where they can talk to each other personally, and that's what ends up happening. Doctor Doom does talk to Reed and Storm personally, like, yo, we gotta do this. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? We gotta do this. What's going on, man? He gets them to go to the fucking moon. Victor's left. And Victor and the fight scene are probably the two biggest fumbles, like the two most egregious fumbles that this film has done. And it's Victor just, like, he just didn't, it felt rushed. It really felt rushed. Because if they did sit down and just explain his character, his thought process, instead of just putting it onto us like they did, then it would have been so much better. I don't mind his design. People keep talking about designs and shit. Nigga, they look like Fantastic Four. I don't know what else do you want them to look like? Like, they don't look crazy. I don't know. And then the fight scene. Oh. See, I had a problem with Johnny flying into a fucking hyperdimension portal without anything. Like, there was no background to it. He just did because he just knew, I guess, right? And then Sue and Reed and the Thing, they just go in the bubble and they just knew that they could fly up there and they'd be fine. There wasn't really a lot of explanation for that whatsoever. Like, they didn't devise a plan, they just kind of did, and it just worked. You're telling me that Dr. Doom lost to that? Something that just worked in the spare of the moment. I also didn't like the later half of the fighting, where Reed, Sue, the Thing, Johnny, they just got fucking smoked, respectively, because why wouldn't they get smoked? And they just willed out of it. They didn't really devise a plan. They just kind of believed that they can get out of their situations, and they did. Like, Reed just, like, he had metal attachments, a part of his body, holding him down with his stretching, which, might I add, how the fuck does Dr. Doom know about stretching? How the fuck does he know about Reed's powers, the Thing's powers, Johnny's powers? How does he know about their powers so much so to create counters for them the second he appeared? Shouldn't he have failed a few times before realizing, oh shit, they have the powers of this. Oh, they have the powers of this. But he didn't do that. He just kind of knew the counters. They didn't really explain that. It was super rushed in that. And, you know, they bait him. They turned it off, and then you get the absolute peak fiction that is the after the battle. Like, I swear to God, anything that's not the fighting is fucking peak. It's peak. They were sitting there conversating. What's the name? What's the name? What's the name of this? What's the name of this? He's like, man, we did all this out of a garage. It's fantastic. Say that again. Yeah. Say it again. That shit is peak. I'm sorry. It's peak. It's peak, man. It's peak. If I did have to have a critique, like the first hour of the film, like, I'd say, like, hey man, they could have dropped so many, like, bars. Like, I remember the Storm's father was like, hey, like the government asked him, like, yo, like, why you believe in these kids? And he says, because I don't know, because they're my kids. Something stupid. But he should have said, like, because they're the future. That shit would have hit. That shit would have fucking hit. That shit would have fucking hit. That shit would have fucking hit. He had it. There were just so many lines in the movie that I feel like could have been, like, super upplayed, like superhero-ified. Like, bro, like, come on. There could have been way better lines, I guess. But besides that, the movie was good. It was a good movie until, like, the very fucking ending fighting scene. And a few hiccups with Doom's character just kind of being forced in, like, not really explained at all. Like, but, you know, it is what it is. If I had to give this film a rating out of 10, honestly, I'd probably say a 7, because that hour was fucking strong. If they kept that up, this would have got a 9. This probably would have got a 9. Like, again, I saw a lot of critiques, people saying, like, yo, they didn't use their powers at all. And, like, I guess that can be a critique, because, like, it is a lot, but it's needed. I feel it's needed. You have to explain these characters, because their powers aren't really the main focus. You look at Reed, you don't, like, of course he's the rubber man, but, like, you don't think the rubber man, you think one of the smartest human beings in the fucking MCU, right? So, like, why would they? I don't know. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was a good movie. I liked it. It was alright. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Fantastic Four. I wish they had another one. I wish they had a chance to do another film, because the setup was godlike. And if they just kept to that, maybe fix up the fight scene, maybe thought like, I'm not even, like, give it like 15 more minutes of thought before you actually created that fight scene, then boom, this movie would have been the film. next movie would have had Silver Surfer in it, and oh my fucking god, imagine a 2016 Silver Surfer. It's over. I feel like this movie was a gem. Like, it really was. Fumbled on some beats, but like every movie does. So, I say that until like, you know, I'm watching AOT in theaters. We got another.
Insane.
Rex came in, I was still in the Rex came in, they could fit in this Rex came in, but I'm still in this